Now that it's October, it is time for spookiness and creepiness as Halloween is right around the corner. And one great way to celebrate this spooky time is to head to Nightmare on 13th. They are joining us now virtually. It's become an annual tradition to have Nightmare on 13th on our show, of course, different this year, but we're happy to have them. How are things going at Nightmare on 13th?
Things are going well. How are you guys doing today?
We are doing really well and happy that you can join us in this unique virtual way. It's your 30th anniversary. How are things going?
Pretty good, pretty good. So far, so good.
Yeah,
Everybody seems like they want to come out and get scared.
we're off to a great start so far.
You know, I hate to describe Nightmare on 13th really at all. It's more than a haunted house. It's more of an artistic, scary experience. If someone hasn't been to Nightmare on 13th, how would you describe it?
It's like going to the haunted house version of Disneyland is the way we like to describe it. We're going to go all out to bring you the theatrics, to bring you new scares you've never seen before in the most creative way possible.
And tell me what is new and unique this year, and not in regards of safety measures, we'll get to that, but as far as the attraction, what types of things will you see this year?
So we've added actually a couple really cool things. For 30 years, we decided to build an old dark ride to put some of our most famous scares inside of it. It's really fun. It's abandoned. You get to walk through it. There's some scary carnies in it. We built this a really awesome huge set called Nightmare Alley, which is like walking through the gothic streets of like London with monsters that have taken over it, it's really cool. I've never seen anything quite like it in a haunted house. And then we also decided to expand our clown area, which is ice cream. We added in a maze and then a ice cream truck that you get onto that is throwing you all around as it's driving through suburbia. It's a really unique experience to get inside of it.
It's definitely not thrown together. This is something you must work on all year long to design, to build, to create. And if people go, I hope they notice the little details that really enhance the experience. So I'd love to hear a little more about what you are doing differently this year to keep everyone safe.
So this year things are, obviously quite different with everything going on with the pandemic and everything. But as a haunted attraction, we kind of lend ourselves to this operating in this kind of pandemic because our whole attraction is in a linear flow. So there's one entrance, one exit. You come in one way. It's one-way traffic all the way through. We are requiring all staff and actors and everybody to wear masks. We're temperature checking everybody. We're following all the guidelines laid out by the governor and everybody. And just make sure everybody's as safe as possible. We have signage all over. We have marks on the floor to keep everybody safe. But we really tried to step up our game this year to try to still keep it as scary as possible while still having all these safety measures in place to keep it as safe as possible as well.
Now, I've been to Nightmare on 13th in previous years. I've been so impressed by the design, by how it looks, by all those little details that I mentioned. I'm not a huge fan, I'll be honest, of haunted house, but this one is different. But also, you hosted a media night last night, and I decided not to go because I was worried about COVID-19, but we had some members of our staff here on Park City Television go, and they were so impressed. They felt perfectly safe. They really had a great time. So kudos to you. It sounds like you're getting some great feedback.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so far we're getting lots of great feedback. Most of our reviews are even coming back saying it's one of the best years people have ever had. So with our new changes, like Jimmy said earlier, we've really gone over the top. We really wanted to make all of our new sets come out with a bang for our 30 years of terror this year.
And you do have characters that like to jump out and startle people, but that's even different this year.
Yeah, that is true. All of our monsters this year are hidden to be masked underneath. So there's some of these characters are wearing masks beneath their masks. Some of them have specially sculpted PPE that are protecting their face so they can still have a makeup look, but be safe when they come out and get you.
One of the other things we really implemented this year is actually more than before this year, but it's just, again, kind of worked out perfectly for this year, is a lot of our actors have amplified scare sounds. And what that is where they have a button or a pedal that they trigger when you come out, and it plays an amplified sound at you, like a growl, or a screech, or a groan. So that way the actor's not physically screaming in people's faces, which is what, they say could be a spread of things. So it's really, you know, worked out in our advantage to basically just keep doing what we've been doing and then just stepping everything up a notch as far as safety is concerned. And it's still just, you know, as scary as possible.
And I know we touched on this briefly, but if you want to go to Nightmare on 13th, I have a couple of questions. You need to plan ahead. Also, what ages is this perfect for?
Really, you know your child, but we've had them come in as young as 4, 5, but you know, you kind of know your child, so we don't really have an age requirement.
Just kind of at the parents' discretion if you feel like they can handle it.
But of course, you're also selling tickets so people can have a certain time to go in so you don't get too crowded.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've switched over to a whole new time ticketing system this year. So we have a limited number of tickets available for half all time slots. So, and we've had time slots selling out this year. So if people are interested in coming, they better get online to our website, nightmareon13th.com, and purchase tickets ahead of time. Otherwise, the time and date they're looking to come might be sold out.
And when you look back at the past 30 years, and of course this year is obviously so different, what are each of you most proud of as you look at this year and as you reflect back on what you have done and what you have created?
I think for me, you know, I've been here for the whole 30 years, but I think for me, it's the whole development of the dream, you know, of the nightmare, I guess, from the outside. When we added the turrets a few years ago to the outside mausoleum and courtyard that gets you ready to go, and then all the cool animatronics and sets and things that we have inside here. I think it's the culmination of that whole thing that I'm most proud about.
I'd have to agree. It's been a really, you know, crazy ride. I've been here for, you know, 10 years of that, and so a third of the 30 years. But it's been a crazy ride even for me, you know, just to be able to see where it was when I first came in here as an actor and just being a part of helping develop that. You know, I was always so wowed and astonished coming as an actor, seeing what these guys did in the off season and everything. And now being able to be a part of that, to see how it progresses, how we go from concept to design to build to make it come to life with actors, you know, customers going through that. That's one of my favorites, seeing the progression throughout the whole thing.
I'm right there with them. I love seeing the old pictures of what this started as and then walking up every day and seeing what it is now. It's astonishing. It's like watching a dream kind of come true. You know, that's my favorite project. I'm right there with them. We love the progression of seeing this place evolve and become better every day.
Well, thank you so much, Nightmare on 13th, for joining us today. We appreciate you taking time to be here with us this morning. It's nice to know there is some normalcy going on in a safe way that makes sense during this time. So to find out more information, buy tickets, get the hours, everything that you need to know before you head to Nightmare on 13th, just head to their website online. We'll be back with more on this Friday right after this.